Ryan Little.
Hello everybody, this is OG with Building Greatness. We're back with another episode and we got a very special guest today. Thanks to Genesis Radio, thanks to Building Greatness, all these platforms are here to, shine a little light on some of the great people in our community, great people in our world, who are making the changes, who are, making the waves, rippling, everything, keeping it going. And I want to introduce Jennifer Newland. So, to my
Hello.
audience.
Thank you for having me, OG.
Yeah, well, thank you. Jennifer's a very special part of our community to me because she's very impressed me with a lot of the events she's been to. She's always out there in the world doing things to keep people going, to keep people recognizing that there are greater things for us to pursue in life. And this the way we do it is by helping each other.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it's all about getting out there and bringing families and communities together and working towards the greater good, making some positive changes.
Right. And tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me about you. Where you from and what do you do?
So currently I live in Roseto, which is in the Slate Belt.
Mm-hmm.
And I work for State Representative Maureen Madden. I'm a legislative assistant for her, and I do constituent services for her. And that's been a huge factor in my life recently. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So it was nice for her to get me back into working full time after being in remission. So she's been a good friend and a great boss.
Yeah. Great team player, I assume.
Oh yeah. She's wonderful to work for.
Yeah. And that's the same thing, like I said, I see in you and I see in her and a lot of other people is the service that you do to our community and our world. And thank you for your service, you know what I mean? That's what I say, because everybody says, we always say thank you to a service to our military men and women, but we also have people that work also in the other part of the scenes who are also fighting for us and battling for us to have a better life. So,
and a lot of times you see, executive directors and COOs, getting the accolades and the awards, and there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that are the face of a company. But it's nice to talk to the people and thank the people who have, the boots on the ground.
right.
That saying comes from a guy down in Allentown, Walt Felton, who he coined that phrase, at least for me in my life.
Right.
Boots on the ground.
Right.
And it's those people who volunteer who really make up the community and make up the change.
Right, exactly. And those are the people. It's just like, for instance, just knowing, I don't know if I should say this, but just the way that you recognized me and was and nominated me for the Image Awards and tried to be secret about it. Tried to like, no, he's not going to.
On the sly.
I know. But that was one of the most moving moments I've had in a long time. Just somebody, who recognizes that I'm trying to do the same thing, just make a better way and doing it in the way I can. And it's so humbling to be recognized by somebody like you, because there's so many people, so many famous people, great people, you've been around, and then to notice a small guy like me, is like, again, like I said, just amazing.
You're not a small guy.
Well, okay.
You're tall. You're tall. But no, you're making an effect on the community by what you're doing, by what you're building here.
Right.
I see you, out in the community talking to people. The positive attitude that you bring to the table is amazing. You really, uplift and give that strength and that positive attitude to help move people and to want to bring change.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, well, I think, again, it's about the teamwork and, you know, again, another great team player, and that's why I'm glad that's why I wanted you on my show, because, you know, type of people I have on my show are the people who make the change, like I said, make the changes in the world. They're pioneers, they're movers, they're makers, they light the fire under the pot, get it boiling, you know what I mean? So.
Well, you know, it all started, you know, because of my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would have been involved hadn't it been for my daughter. I wanted to make a change in our community for her.
Right.
Because she's the next generation. She's what's going to be there after me.
Right.
And I wanted to do something good. So I decided to show up to a PTA meeting.
Right.
And that's where it all started, was because of my daughter being at school, wanting to make some good positive waves for her and her future,
Right.
and being a PTA mom.
Right. Oh, yeah. See? That's where it all starts, being involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and it was, you know, the assistant principal there, Allison Tucker, who reached out to the parents because there wasn't a PTA.
Right.
And she wanted a PTA to be started at the middle school level and then continue up into the high school level where there wasn't one.
Right.
You know, and it took somebody with vision reaching out to the parents and bringing them in.
Right.
So, you know, there's a lot of good people out there. Sometimes people don't know where to start and they need that invitation.
Right, exactly. Yeah. A lot of people, again, that's where the pioneers come from in our community. The people who have the potential. There are people like you who see the potential in them because, again, you're involved. You're going to the school, you're going to the board meetings, you're going to the things that involve you to meet the different people in our community, as well as the young people who you are seeing these qualities saying, you know what, you could do better, you could do this in life. You don't have to settle for just, you know, what somebody's telling you to be, you know.
I think ultimately everybody, and, you know, maybe this is my utopian way of thinking, but I like to believe that everybody essentially is good.
Right.
And if you can tap into what they're good at, and you can tap into something that interests them, you know, then they can thrive. And, you know, it's all about where you lead them and using their assets to their best potential.
Right, absolutely. I mean, and I think, again, that's all invested in all of us. Like you said, we all have that seed. It sometimes needs a spark, sometimes needs a little water.
Absolutely.
You know, a little guidance, but, you know, we all are participants in this game called life. You know, and it is what you make it and what you contribute to it. So I always try to focus on the solution. Here, Building Greatness is, I'm a solution-based person. You know, I don't look for, the problems are going to be there, you know.
Right.
But the solution are the things that make life fun and challenging to figure out.
What can we do about it?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, staying stuck in the problem certainly isn't the way to go. I think that just breeds negativity, rumor, gossip, you know, people start to get disgruntled and they start feeling weighed down. You know, it's knowing what the problem is and very quickly taking that problem and moving it into a solution.
Right.
And then acting on that solution and putting the right people in place for the follow-through.
Yeah, absolutely. And putting the right people in place to make that solution happen, because sometimes it takes, like you said, a team. And everybody's responsible for the part of the machine that they operate, you know. And as long as everybody's doing their part of the machine, there's no, you know, because sometimes in society and this civilization we get lost in, you know, somebody stepping on somebody. And there's enough room for every plant to grow. Every blade of grass has a slot, you know what I mean? So as long as
I love that. Every blade of grass has a slot.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah. We got to keep it looking like that.
And that is so true. I have never heard that saying. I'm going to add that to my repertoire.
I swear to God, I just made it up just now. Just made it up.
That was a good one. We'll keep it.
Yeah, we're going to sign that in because I think we're also talking about, you know, in the future doing some type of show together. And
yes.
I'm really looking forward to that. So
am I. You know, I think, you know, we can always do better at reaching out to people. And I know that, one of the things that we've talked about is taking it right to the streets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, hearing what people really think and feel. At least in my life, a lot of things, unfortunately, become political.
Right.
And we forget, about the journey of life and what it means. And I think that a lot of times we need to bring it back to the basics.
Right.
And, remember that, it's not always about who's on what side.
Right. Exactly.
It is about coming together and making it happen together. I have a friend who, we are on opposite sides of the table, politically, and it doesn't matter. Right. Because ultimately, we can talk about anything because we respect each other. And we come together at the end of the day for the common and the greater good. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I just think that is the combination that we're not figuring out here on planet Earth. Is that we're it's like a combination lock. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And instead of the combination lock matching up, we use the numbers to separate and divide. So, these things keep our minds occupied and keep us not focused on a solution. So to adjust those things to accept people for who they are.
Yes. You
know what I mean? That's another thing like you and I have in common is that I have people from all walks of life. Even watching this, from every background, political, so I'm very careful about the things because I don't necessarily project my own projection out there of what I think and whatever, but I know that there are people who think differently and have different views than I do.
And it's about respect.
Yeah. And you can support somebody without saying, well, I don't have to be them or be in their idea to support them. You know what I mean? I can still support them, but still let their voice be heard without saying, oh, I believe what they believe, or maybe I don't, but I still feel like I want to hear what they have to say.
Absolutely, because you know what, while I, on my own personal beliefs, I look into the issue and whatever it is, and I try to research it so I know, where I personally stand on things.
Right.
There's always more to learn. Right. There's always more out there to know and to challenge you. And you know what? Mm-hmm. When I hear something new and different, I may adjust the way I personally feel, and that's not flip-flopping on an issue, that's growth.
Right, exactly.
And life should be about growth. It should be challenging yourself every day when you get up to learn something new, to, try to reach out to somebody new, just keep it moving forward and not staying static.
Yeah. Static is a problem, and I think that's, a lot of times we deal with this type of situation. I like that word static because it applies to a lot of things. We're static in our learning. We're static in our behavior. We're static in our progressiveness. Like we feel like there's a place we should be when it's never a place. It's actually a journey. It's actually like we're constantly changing, constantly morphing, and shaping ourselves to the conditions that change, and not sitting there saying, oh my God, the conditions change, but it's almost like if a wave is coming at me, I don't say, oh, the wave's coming at me, I go find high ground and say, oh wow, look at the wave, instead of looking at the wave coming at me, like this is dreadful.
I'll take a surfboard out there and ride the wave.
That's what I was going to say next.
And we're going to be doing two different things, but we're still, maybe getting to the same place.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Exactly. So that's along the same lines I'm talking about. Just grab the surfboard and turn that tsunami into a projection of energy that transforms your future to where you're going, the direction you want to go in.
Right.
And again, like I said, I'm so looking forward to the show because I think this is going to be really important for this area, and not just for this area. It's going to resonate beyond this area.
Right.
But I think because we have the ability to listen to people and talk to different people from different backgrounds, I just think that we're going to have such a profound impact.
And I think to get out there on the streets and really listen to people and hear them,
Right.
On a deeper level is really gonna do it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really enlightening for both of us personally,
Right.
along with everybody else who catches on to it.
Yeah, yeah. Because we all, like I said, we're just bringing different pieces of this puzzle together to the table. So when we go out there, we're saying, listen, we're willing to be the table. We're willing to go out there and say, look, put your pieces right here. We'll make sure that it's heard. And we find these commonalities rather than, we respect and learn from our differences, but we take our commonalities and use it to forge ourselves into the way we want to see the world. You know what I
Right.
mean? Design it,
Right. And, I hope that we find people, along our journey who want to get involved and don't know how to get involved.
Right.
And we're able to then, right there, maybe Google something right up and say, hey, this is, maybe this is something for you. And, why don't you give them a call and get involved?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, directing people to those resources is because a lot of times people just lack the knowledge of the resources around them. And again, this is what building greatness is about. Is about saying, look, we have all these building blocks around us. For instance, Josie Farms. I like to keep bringing that up because that's one of my first goals is to get with am I saying right? Josie Farms, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
Heidi Secord.
Yeah, and Heidi, yeah, she's a friend of mine on Facebook now, and I really want to, because that concept, even though it's farming, is a concept we need to apply to all things.
Working cooperatively together.
That's it.
To
Collective.
make each other healthy.
Yes.
And
be sustaining, self-sustaining.
Absolutely.
The things that we can do on our own, we will do. Things that we can't, we work on, but that's something we have in our power, and, we can talk about all the things that are not in our power, but one thing in our power is to grow our own food. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. I don't mind picking the food as long as she just doesn't make me weed.
He said the weed part.
I don't like weeding.
Yeah, exactly. Because you got to get down there, you got to dig it by the root, pull it out, and
But I bet somebody else is good at it.
Yes.
Again, going back to teamwork.
Exactly.
I'll pick it, somebody else can weed.
Yeah. Again, it's like any kind of team, whether it's a fighting team, basketball team, a military special team, where it's like everybody has a particular thing that they're good at, even though they may know everything else that everybody else knows. They're particularly, maybe you have a medic, maybe you have communications, maybe you have recon, maybe you have a basketball team where one's a three-point, he can shoot from a three-point, that's his thing. One is defense,
Right.
And if everybody just aligns and does their part, the same way we do in sports, we can apply that same practical, functional activities to everything else, including our communities. And we don't have to beg anybody for anything. We could actually create it and invite the people to come and continue building and make it bigger.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Come to the table.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Come to the table and let's put it out there. Let's see what we have, because all we have is each other.
Absolutely. And it goes back to, everybody has potential, everybody has goodness, it's just tapping into it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the root of it.
Yeah, and there's no excuses, because again, like, you're a warrior, you've been through a lot, you know what I mean, especially being a survivor, like you said, of cancer. That's a very serious thing, and the warrior, the story you told me, like, you are a warrior. You have a warrior, and I've seen you in other warrior things, so I don't want to say that, but I've seen you do some other warrior stuff that's like, holy crap, I want you on my team, okay?
It's, October 15th actually will be my 2-year anniversary from my last chemo.
Mm-hmm.
So I am every day just celebrating life. When I was first told, stage 4 cancer, colon, liver, lymph nodes. I mean, that's a pretty hard blow at the age of 42. And, people, have said to me, didn't it suck, having cancer?
Mm-hmm.
No, it didn't. Because cancer starts for me, with 3 important letters. C-A-N. Can.
Right.
I mean, why didn't the medical community call it can't-cer? I mean, they could have done that. I mean, it would have been very easy. I mean, look at all the strange medical terms we have out there with all these crazy letters, you know, but somebody named it cancer because at least this is what I want to believe, is that somebody wanted to remind cancer patients that they can. You can get up. You can be beautiful. You can still get out there and you can be you.
Right.
You know, you can spread the word about how you're surviving. You can spread a smile as you walk down the hallway getting ready for your chemo. You know, you can give a hug. You can give, you know, there's so much that people can give while they're going through cancer and chemo, even if it is just a smile or a hug to somebody else. Even on the days when I didn't feel like it, you know, I made myself do things like that because it's too easy to fall into depression and to feel sorry for yourself and, oh, I'm going to die. No.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep on fighting. You know, my daughter's, she's only 19 years old. She's a huge motivating force in my life. Right. I must be around for her.
Right.
You know, when I was born, I was given up for adoption.
Wow.
And I was 9 days old when I was adopted. And I was afforded a very good life by my parents. And I am so thankful that they adopted me and afforded me that life. And I've been able to get through cancer. And, you know, we all have these little trials in our life. And it's what you do with those trials that really form you into who you are. And I am not giving up anytime soon. You know, and I just hope that other people, you know, can find belief in that hope. And don't give up. We need as many boots on the ground and as many people, you know, fighting for their beliefs and fighting for goodness, fighting for their community, that we can have.
Right.
So it's been a journey. When I got sick, it was amazing to see how my community came around me and supported me. My church, Hope Springs, they had meals for me. You know, the pink fire trucks that you see.
Right.
You know, that became a whole other family to me. You know, they had fundraisers for me. They got T-shirts that said, you know, fight like a girl, and on the back it said, we've got your back, Jen. Those little things, seeing a community come together to support me like that, I'm speechless to this day. So I know that community can do it. Yeah. I've seen it. You know, when we help fire victims, I see community come together and the donations, you know, like you see for the hurricane victims now. You see it. It can happen. We just need to sustain it.
Yes. And we have to keep doing the things that you're doing, is recognizing the same thing you did with me, is recognizing the people who are doing things in the community, because these are the fires that are put under these pots that get them going, that get the soup boiling, which I call it. I'm always using these metaphors, but that's just my way of doing things.
No, it's great.
You know, and you know, to have a community surrounding, you're paying that forward by just recognizing me. Just the little things you do you think is not that much, is you're paying that forward. You know what I mean? Because we all have different battles. My battle may be different than yours. You know, yours was a lot more worry, some of the stuff I'm going through, but, you know, still.
Yeah, to me, you know, people say that to me a lot. Oh, yours was so much worse than mine. You know what? If it is something that causes somebody anxiety or distraction from being positive during the day, it's just as bad as what I went through. Whether it's somebody forgot to put out their trash and now they're worried that, oh man, what am I going to do with it for the next week and I got bears? to me having cancer. It's all, you know, if it's a distraction from doing something positive in your life that day,
Right.
it's all the same.
Yeah, yeah. I
At
mean,
least to me. You know, I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that may not agree with that, but it's all the same to me.
I like the way you look at it, though. I like the way you say it like that because, again, you don't give that force power. You said it's all the same. There's no bigger or smaller. It's, look, our battle is a battle.
Yes.
And whether you're battling, you know, like, you know, my thing is always like, again, like I've been a person in my community, any community I've been in. I've been around to several. I've always tried to be a factor. You know, I always tried to do, you know, I never was the one who said, why isn't somebody doing this? Or who should be doing this? I was always the person who said, this is what I'm going to do. Oh, nobody's doing it, good. That's an opportunity for me to do it. Sometimes I spread myself too thin, and I wind up wearing myself out, and then I have my battle, because now I'm like,
Right.
you know, but, you know, again, when you have people that recognize you have a great team to work with, you know, it helps you, keeps you in line, keeps you on that track, saying, OG, keep going, you know, and the subtle things, because, you know, you didn't know, but because of what you did, that helped nudge certain things into back on track, you know.
I'm glad.
And not say, you know, maybe this is some kind of cause that I really, you know.
And you know what? It can be as simple as a smile, as a hug, as a thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those two words, thank you, are some powerful, powerful words.
Right.
You know, and that's something that, you know, working for Representative Madden, she tells us all the time. And it's so important, you know, to hear those words.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to work for somebody who appreciates
Mm-hmm.
and does say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Those words at the end of the day are powerful. You know, I've worked for a couple companies where that was one of the things at the end of the day that was made sure that was done. Mm-hmm. And it made employees feel so good. And it's something that I've tried to take out when I do things, to say thank you. I don't always do it because sometimes I'm in a rush and I got to get, and you know, but you know, saying thank you, boy.
Yeah, I mean, it goes a long way.
Makes people want to come back.
Yeah.
Amazing, 2 words.
Yeah, and 2 words. Those 2 words, like you said, that's the gift that keeps on giving. You know, is just recognizing, because I think, and I do that with social media too, is I always tell people that, you know, and I just had this conversation in another show that I was invited to, Sister Chat, and we were talking about that. We were talking about how it has to be reciprocal, and sometimes just saying something in somebody's post, you know, can go a long way. You never know
Absolutely.
what that person may be going through, or how they may pass that back on to somebody else. You know?
Right.
And in my case, it's built a strong, powerful social media network of friends, family, people I've even met on social media, people I've met in the world who've remembered me and I've remembered them. And it's built a nice, strong support unit that I have. So when I'm out there trying to do things, I have a core of people who are diehards, you know, like yourself, you know, that, you know, we go out there, we do it, and we support each other. And, you know, whatever it is, we recognize what each other brings to the table. And we just try to keep it going, circulate the electricity.
Well, beat down or lift up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I certainly want somebody to if there's an option of what they can do with me, I want somebody lifting me up. I don't want somebody beating me down.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I feel you on that. You know, and I think, again, like that's the case, is that we're quick to judge people because of our differences. You know, like say somebody has a different, you know, again, I'm not necessarily political, but say somebody has a political affiliation with something, I'm not going to immediately judge them. What I'm going to do is, because I have people, some of my biggest supporters don't have the same beliefs I do, or don't have the same political aspirations as I do. You know, I'm more of a progressive person. I like to see things progress in the world, and I like to see everybody in the world get a chance at life. You know, even if it's not me. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
right.
know. You know, there's enough room for everything. There's enough for oxygen for everybody. Oh, we got a caller. Okay, hold on. Hello, caller. This is Building Greatness. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Cornelia, your favorite fan from New Jersey.
Hey,
how are you this evening, OG?
Hey, Cornelia, how you doing, Miss Wright? Thank you. This is one of, again, just what we're talking about, one of the team players who support everything. And thank you for calling. You have any questions for Jennifer?
Nice.
She's right here.
Nice to meet you.
I do. First of all, I want to say thank you, Jennifer, for your story. And you know what? Hearing your story, it just makes me smile because, you know, you started talking about, you know, your experience with your daughter and getting involved with the PTA because you had a vision for the world that you'd like to create for her. And just, you know, when we think of that and we share our story and you talk about your story being a survivor of cancer, you're giving other people strength. You're giving me strength.
Aw, you're sweet.
And I just so appreciate hearing your story that, you know, whatever we're going through, that we can overcome it if we choose to. And working together in the community, everybody has different things that they want to be involved in, and they can, and find people to connect with that have the same similar vision. And you know what? Just thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you for the kind words. That was very nice. You know, and I can only hope that, you know, somebody can take away and it you know, my story of, you know, getting through cancer, you know, going from, you know, working full time, being a single mother, getting cancer, getting on disability, getting through cancer, and now back to working full time because I have a friend who saw the potential in me, and you know, gave me a full-time job. You know, Representative Madden took a chance on me. She didn't have to do that, and boy, was that uplifting to me in a time where you know, I was ready to go back to work and start, you know, boots on the ground again.
Yes. And your story being a single mom, being a single mom myself, I know how difficult and challenging that can be. But, you know, when you share your story like that, it just inspires others. And so I had to say thank you to you.
Aw, well, you're beautiful for calling in.
Right. And OG's story, of course, is amazing to me. I'm his biggest fan. All right?
Yes.
Well, we all need fans in life. And not the kind that we wave, not the kind that we wave around.
Exactly. Exactly. We don't need a lot of we don't need a lot of air.
Much, and you have a good evening.
Oh, you too.
Thank you for calling in. All right?
All right, bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that number here at the studio, if you have any questions for Jennifer Newland, that number is 888-304-4401. I'd like to hear some more people call in and, you know, get inside her head and let her give her piece of you and get to know her. She's a great person, and that's why I had her on the show, is because even beyond the scenes when nobody's looking, she is still putting in the work. And we are still trying to come up, and we're going to be doing a show together, and I cannot wait. I know we have, you know, some things to get together to make it happen, but I'm so looking forward to working with you.
Yes.
Because
yes.
We share a lot of the same principles.
Absolutely, and you know, the first time that you and I talked, it was an instant click on vision.
Yes.
And that's hard to that's hard to find when you just instantly, you know, click with somebody else's vision, and it was pretty awesome. Yeah.
It was definitely one of those moments where you're like, wow, I've just met somebody, you know, who's a light bearer. I just say, you know, just someone who you remember. It's like an imprint. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we meet a lot of people. I'm not saying not everybody I meet is special. Everybody's special in the world, but sometimes we meet these people who actually stay in your head and give you something to, like, you know, go forward for. And, you know, there's something about your nature that's very motivating and energetic. And, you know, I just, like I said,
I just have a good time in life.
See? You keep you're making it simple, but
I just have a good time in life.
Right.
I enjoy it. You know, that's I don't know. I don't know how to put it any other way except I enjoy life. You know, especially, you know, seeing that it could have ended. to still be here,
Mm-hmm.
I can't appreciate life more than I do.
Yeah.
From being adopted at 9 days old to, being able to survive cancer. Life is good no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. Do I have my down days?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'd be lying if I'd say, oh, I never get depressed, oh, I never get down. Everybody has their down days.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their moments where, they sit and they cry it out. Come on, OG, it's you too.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not in denial. Shoot, I'm more regular,
But you know what? This is how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to have a time where I'm depressed,
We got
I
another
allow
caller.
it
Hold on
for
one
24 hours.
Hello, caller. This is Building Greatness. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Deborah Kofer, a.k.a. Mama C, and I'm calling from the beautiful Pocono Mountains.
Hello.
Hey, Deborah, how you doing? Nice to hear from
I'm
you.
good.
Another one of my biggest
I'm good.
supporters. Like, we support each other. One of my biggest. Another one. Just constant. Thank you so much for calling. Talk to Jennifer.
How are you, my
Yes,
dear?
Hi. I can so relate to your story, as an incest and rape survivor, a single mother, and now a single grandmother helping to raise my 4 grandchildren. I certainly can commiserate with you. And I think, we survivors have a special strength. And when we're able to share our stories, we fortify the resolve of the people to try and overcome whatever challenges they may have gone through. So I just want to thank you for sharing your story, for being the woman that you are, and, continuing to help in whatever way you can, because we so need people like you in the world.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Well, I go. I'm going to take a little time off for a week. I'm going back into surgery on Monday. I say, after cancer, they got to start putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. But, I will be back in action, and OG and I are gonna do some things, and I know you're gonna be there right with us.
I sure am, and Sister Chat is behind you both always, and we are so pleased to be a part of this network of dynamic people who are growing, going, glowing, and flowing in the with the goal to make our community a better place, and doing it collectively is such a powerful way to make it happen. So
Yeah.
I thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for allowing me to call in, OG, and just be a brief part of the show tonight.
Well, thank you for all you do.
Yes, we have another call, Mama C, and thank you for calling in. You're one of my biggest supporters. Over and out.
Love you both.
Love you
All
too.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Caller, if you were calling in, please call back. We were just on the other line, but call back, please. We're looking forward to hearing your call. We had another call on the line while we were talking to Deborah Kofer.
Yes, hopefully they will call back.
Right. And again, as you can see, like, a lot of people can relate to what you're saying. So this is how we reach people in the community, is by being able to relate to their cause. Here we go. Hello, caller. This is OG Akins on Building Greatness. We have Jennifer Newland. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Shippensburg University.
That's my baby girl right there.
Your biggest supporter,
Hi.
huh? How you doing?
Hi, baby. How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling Building Greatness.
So,
Yeah.
so what's it like being my kid?
Yeah, what's it like to have the warrior mom?
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny when people ask you, like, what does your mom do for a living? And then you say, like, Oh, you know, she's like works for the House of Representatives.
That's a good thing. She's making changes
Yeah.
in the world. You got a warrior mom, queen. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jasmine has been my motivator. You know, when I was sick, she stepped up to the plate. She took care of me, cleaned the house. You know, I mean, she's been awesome through all of this, and you know, she was, you know, just learning to drive, and you know, hearing that your mom might not be at your graduation, that your mom may not survive, your mom has cancer,
Right.
you know, me coming home, you know, with chemo, that was hard on her. Well, but it must have been hard on her. I can't speak for her, but you know, she has come through it. She's at college, she's excelling there. And you know, she comes home to check on me, like she's coming home to check on me this weekend before I go into surgery, and you know, she's
checking on you now.
yeah, she's checking on me now. She can't even have me let me have a radio program by myself.
She's your guardian angel, you know.
She absolutely is. She is she's my heart.
Right.
It's a good kid.
What's it like to have a mom like your mom? Like, what is it like? How do you feel?
You know, it's interesting because, like, well, one day I say, oh, hey, by the way, like, I was in the newspaper, and it's just kind of like all this crazy stuff happens to her that's like, like, how does this happen to you, you know? Like, how does all this crazy stuff happen?
If you could name one good quality about your mom, what is it? I know she has many, but what is one?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one. I guess, like, she's always been, like, there for me, and, like, if I ever need to talk to her, she can, like, talk to me about stuff.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That is one thing that I've always tried to have in our household, is that no matter what's going on, no matter what the problem is, that she can, you know, come and talk to me. You know, I may get upset about, you know, whatever it is, but ultimately I love her, I support her, and, you know, will do whatever I can to help her.
Wow. Yeah, see? That's what it takes right there.
So because of her, you know, I've wanted to translate that, you know, out to the community.
Right, right.
So Jasmine, it's really all about you.
It definitely is. It's all about you. And you have, like I said, such a great mom. And like I said, I can see how a team player she is, how good of a team player she is. So, you know, you're blessed. That's all I can say is you are truly blessed. And I'm sure she's blessed to have you, you know?
Yeah, I hope.
You say hope. Shoot, she is.
Absolutely I am. Absolutely I am. Well, thank you for calling, Jasmine. I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
Bye.
Okay, you take care.
Bye.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
She's adorable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm her parent, so I'm a little, you know, slighted, but she's adorable.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I understand. I got a daughter, too, and she's like, you know, like two daughters, and, you know, they're kind of like, you know, they keep my blade sharp, put it that way.
Yeah. Oh yes. Well, it's funny because she texted me the other night, and she may not like that I'm going to put this out on the radio, but she texted me the other night that she got a role in the play out at school. She's going to be a politician and activist.
Oh, really?
How great is that?
In the play?
In the play.
Oh, wow.
The role that she's playing is a politician and an activist.
What are
I
the
was
chances
like,
of that?
That's so perfect for our household.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it, you know. A lot of people, again, like I said, they see politics and they get a little scared, but just understand that politics you got to think of everything like a machine. And the machine has parts and mechanisms. You have let's say a car. You have your transmission, you have your engine block, you have your electrical components, you have all the. So everything serves a purpose. It's how you use it. And so don't be afraid of politics. Get involved. You know what I mean? Because there are things that you could change. If you see something you don't like in politics, guess what? You get up there and change it. You could be part of it. You don't got to complain about it. You could be part of that change.
Absolutely. And, so many things transcend politics. Community transcends politics.
Right.
Family transcends politics. And, family doesn't have to be blood.
Yeah.
Some of my friends are, as close to me as my family. I have a friend who, we call each other soul sisters. Because we believe that we are very, very connected, deeper than the skin, really at the heart of things. She's actually Jasmine's godmother. I've entrusted her with that. But there's things that transcend politics, and they should. It's great to be involved in politics. I've loved being involved in politics. It's the way that I was able to, from the PTA move into politics, and that was the way that I was able to use my voice.
Right.
Was being involved in politics. But there is more than that out there. And it's great where I work now. It's called the Mountain Center. And talk about transcending politics. There's a ton of nonprofits out there. We've got Habitat for Humanity. We've got Feeding Families Food Pantry. We've got, WIC is out there. AARP giving seniors jobs. Head Start. Catholic Social Services, Women's Resources of Monroe County, Pocono Alliance, Street to Feet, Crossroads, Area on Aging is out there. They just opened up a senior center. We've got a federal credit union out there.
Right.
So when you talk about community, and I'm sorry, I'm sure I forgot some people, and everybody at the Mountain Center is just as important and wonderful.
And we're going to continue this conversation too. So we're going to get a chance to talk about everybody.
So it's this great resource center where everything, it doesn't matter that it's a state representative's office. I get up, I walk people, over to Feeding Families Food Pantry, sign them up. They walk people over to me, and we sign, families up for CHIP, or if they need a driver's license, we help them with their application, or, heating, whatever it is, if somebody's in a domestic violence situation, we have Women's Resources. We walk each other down the hall, and we call each other in this center neighbors.
Okay, we have a caller. Hold on. Hello, caller. This is Building Greatness. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Jen Latore from Bath, PA.
Hey, how you doing?
I am good. How are you?
All right.
Tell them who you really are.
I am Jen's soul sister. I couldn't let a moment go by without calling.
Right. Oh, that's so great. How you doing today?
I am well, thank you. I am well.
Tell me something great about Jen.
Honestly, when people talk about politicians, and you get this vision in your head of this person who is lying to you and, isn't always telling the truth and isn't genuine. This is not that person. I have known this woman for, what did we say, 25 years, Jen?
Yes.
Yeah, 25 years. And she is the person that I met 25 years ago. So she says what's on her heart, and she is the genuine picture. And I think that's important for people to know, that they can trust her words. They can trust what she's saying. And when she says she's going to do something, she does it.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
You're making me teary here.
So,
Well, I love you. You know that.
somehow I really believe you because I've seen bear witness to that. And I'm really sorry. We have like a very little bit of time. I want to keep you on a little longer, but we just have such a tiny amount of time. But I really want to thank you for calling. But those qualities that you talked about, Jennifer, are very true, and I've experienced those.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
So,
Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there and tell you I was listening.
yeah. Well, I want to thank you for calling in. This is the support I'm talking about, our people who support us. And please stay tuned in, and we're going to be continuing doing other things, okay?
Awesome. I can't wait to see what's in the future.
Okay. So,
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. You too. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. So, we're about to wrap it up. But is there any kind of information somebody wants to get in touch with you? If they want to get in touch with some of the information you have, is there a way they could contact you on Facebook Live? Or?
They can. I'm on Facebook. It's Jennifer Newland. You know, if you Google me, you can find my number. So I'm not giving anybody something that's out there and private at all. My number is 610-217-7088. You know, if you want to, you know, get connected and put your boots on the ground, you know, or if you want to share your story with me, send me a private message, send me a text message. You can stay anonymous if you want to, you know, by sending me a text message. You want to send me an email, it's jnewland04@gmail.com. I would love to hear, you know, some other positive stories and some life-changing things to keep me motivated.
Yes, yes. And also, we're going to continue this conversation. We're going to do a part 2, maybe an off-air interview or whatever. And we're going to continue this conversation. It's only part 1. So we're going to do part 2. And I want to thank you for coming up. I want to thank you for being part of this. And I'm looking so forward to working with you.
I want to thank you for having me. I want to thank the callers. I want to just really thank you. This was quite an experience. I don't know that I've ever been Facebook Live before, so this was amazing. This was a challenge for me to sit here and talk to the land out there.
Yes, yes. So we're going to continue the conversation. If you want to reach Jennifer Newland, I have all her information on my Facebook Live. Everything's public so people can see and catch the fire. This is a warrior right here. I'm glad to have her on my team. I'm glad to be that we are a team, and we have a lot of things to do in this community, in this world, to make changes. So keep tuned in to what we're doing, okay? And I just want to say thank you to the audience out there, Genesis Radio, a couple of people out there, Sister Chad, Odette Russell, Lady Chisholm, Cornelia Wright, Tina Brown, Onisha Love, France Decorum, Keith Spurgeon, Terry P, and then Diana Bellamy, everybody out there who I have who support me, Jennifer Kelly, everybody out there, thank you for listening in. We're going to sign off, and we'll see you next week, and keep tuned for Jennifer Newland and what we're going to do. Over and out.
Thank you.